Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. Ready to explore some more cutting-edge tech?
Always.
Awesome. Today, we're diving into NVIDIA's vision for the future of computing and AI.
Sounds intense.
It is. We're basing this deep dive on an article that breaks down NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang's keynote presentation.
Oh, I saw some clips of that online. It was pretty mind-blowing.
It was. And this article really gets into the nuts and bolts of it all.
Nice. So, where are they taking things? What's the big picture here?
Well, they're not just talking about little improvements here and there. They're talking about a total paradigm shift, like redefining what's possible with technology.
Whoa.
Yeah, so right off the bat, the article throws out this concept of moving from software 1.0 to software 2.0. What do you think that even means?
Software 2.0. Is that like upgrading your phone's operating system or something?
Kind of. See, software 1.0 is basically everything we know now. Humans write every single line of code.
Right. Yeah.
But software 2.0, that's AI writing the code. And get this, it's driven by these things called machine learning models.
So the AI is writing its own programs.
Exactly. And this new type of AI, they call it generative AI, learns from huge amounts of data. Then it uses that knowledge to create its own outputs. It can solve problems, generate stuff.
Wow. So it's like the computer's not just following instructions anymore. It's actually learning and figuring things out on its own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not just about speed either. It's about AI tackling these super complex problems, like problems that were basically impossible for humans to solve before.
Okay, I'm starting to see where this is going. But hold on. Doesn't the article also mention that Moore's law is hitting a wall? How does that fit in?
Right. Moore's law, that whole idea that computers get twice as powerful every 2 years, it's reaching its limit. You can only cram so many transistors onto a chip before things get, well, messy.
Yeah, makes sense.
Look,
So
look,
what's this solution? What are they proposing?
NVIDIA's answer is accelerated computing. It's about shifting away from those traditional CPUs, the brains of the computer. They're focusing on the power of GPUs instead. Those are the things that make graphics look awesome in video games, but they could do so much more.
Okay, interesting. So are they ditching CPUs entirely?
Not completely.
Yeah.
It's more like using each for what it's best at. CPUs for general tasks, and GPUs for massive parallel processing.
Parallel processing meaning?
It's like having a team of workers instead of just one. They can tackle different parts of a problem simultaneously.
Gotcha. So how much faster does this accelerated computing make things?
We're talking 20 to 50 times faster in some cases.
Whoa, that's insane. What can you even do with that kind of speed?
It's transforming industries. Take chip manufacturing, for example. They use this process called computational lithography. It's like using computers to design these incredibly intricate circuits.
Right.
Accelerated computing is a game changer for that whole process. Faster, more efficient chip designs, which in turn fuels the development of even more powerful AI. It's like a snowball effect.
Yeah. It's like each advancement builds on the last one. It just keeps accelerating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not just chip design. Accelerated computing also makes these huge simulations possible. The kind they use in developing 5G or, get this, creating realistic virtual worlds for training AI.
Wait, realistic virtual worlds? That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Is this where the physical AI concept comes in?
You got it. Physical AI is all about AI that actually interacts with the physical world, not just data on a screen. And to train this type of AI, they need these virtual spaces.
Makes sense. You don't want a clumsy AI learning to drive a car on actual roads. Too many risks.
Exactly. So NVIDIA created this platform called the Omniverse.
Omniverse.
It lets developers build digital twins, basically virtual copies of real-world environments.
So like a virtual city or a virtual factory?
Precisely. Imagine training a self-driving car in a virtual city before it ever hits a real street. It can make mistakes, learn from them, all without any real-world consequences.
Smart. So much safer. What else can you use these digital twins for? The article mentioned something about robots, right?
All sorts of robots. You could train a warehouse robot to navigate a virtual warehouse, optimize its movements, figure out the most efficient routes, all before it deals with any actual inventory.
Oh, cool.
Or even a humanoid robot, the ones that look kind of human. They can practice complex tasks in a simulated environment, develop better dexterity, learn how to move and manipulate objects.
I can see how that's useful. So what about humans in all of this? What's our role in this future where AI is getting so capable?
That's where NVIDIA's vision for AI agents comes in. Picture this. AI programs that are like super specialized assistants. They can take over those repetitive, mundane tasks, the stuff that no one really enjoys doing.
I like where this is going.
Right. This frees up humans to focus on more creative, meaningful work, the stuff AI isn't good at yet.
Makes sense. So what kind of tasks are we talking about?
Think about scheduling meetings, putting together presentations, even handling those basic customer service questions. All those little things that eat up our time can be handled by AI.
Okay, I'm on board with this. I can see how that would boost productivity. But it sounds like we're not just talking about AI handling individual tasks. The article also mentions something about AI agents managing swarms of robots. What does that even look like?
Imagine a construction site. You have a bunch of robots all working together to build something. Each one has its own special job. Now, the AI agent is like the conductor, making sure everything runs smoothly, optimizing the robot's movements.
Wow, that's quite a picture, AI conducting a whole orchestra of robots. But how do these AI agents get to that level of sophistication? How do they become capable of managing such complex operations?
That's where the scaling laws come in. NVIDIA has observed that with this accelerated computing, compute power is growing 4 times every year, way faster than what Moore's law predicted.
4 times each year. That's insane.
It is. And their scaling laws basically suggest that the more data you feed an AI, the smarter it gets. It's this incredible feedback loop. More computing power leads to more data processing, which makes the AI smarter, which then requires even more computing power.
So it just keeps building and building. That's mind-boggling.
Right. And here's where it gets even more interesting. NVIDIA's research indicates that if you give an AI more time to think, to process information deeply, the quality of its output goes way up.
So it's not just about how fast an AI can process data. It's about giving it the time to really ponder, to think things through, just like we humans often do.
Precisely. But, that raises a whole bunch of new questions, too. How do we measure an AI's thinking time? How do we know if it's truly understanding something?
That's a good question, and I think it's something researchers are still grappling with. But it definitely challenges our traditional ways of measuring AI progress. We need to move beyond just speed and efficiency. We need to find ways to assess an AI's depth of understanding.
It's like we're on the verge of a whole new era of intelligence, one that we're only just beginning to understand.
Absolutely. And what's so cool is that this isn't just happening in one place. Jensen Huang specifically mentioned India's growing role in the global AI ecosystem.
Yeah, he talked about collaborations with Indian robotics and tech companies.
Yeah.
It's really exciting to see this kind of global collaboration happening.
It is. And, it just goes to show that this AI revolution is going to have a massive impact worldwide. It's going to create new opportunities, new challenges, and new ways of thinking about the world.
Absolutely. But we've only scratched the surface of NVIDIA's vision. There's so much more to unpack, especially when it comes to how these AI agents are going to transform the way we live and work.
I know, right? Like, what are the everyday implications of this? How will our interactions with technology, even with each other, change as AI becomes more integrated into our lives? It's fascinating to think about.
It is. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into next time. We'll explore the real-world applications of NVIDIA's vision and what it means for the future of, well, everything.
Looking forward to it. One thing that really stands out to me in this article is NVIDIA's focus on the practical side of all this. It's not just theory. They're actually using these ideas to solve real-world problems.
That's what makes it so exciting. Give me an example. Like, what specific problems are they tackling?
Well, one area they're really focused on is energy efficiency.
Okay, energy consumption is a big deal everywhere. How does AI even help with that?
Think about it. AI can make power grids way smarter. Imagine a grid that can predict changes in energy demand, like in real time.
That would be incredible, especially with more and more renewable energy sources coming online.
Exactly. AI can integrate those seamlessly too. It can minimize waste, make the whole grid more stable and efficient.
Okay, that's huge. But what about the people working in those industries? Won't all this automation lead to job losses?
It's a valid concern, and NVIDIA knows that. But their view is that AI will actually create new opportunities. It's not about replacing humans, it's about augmenting our abilities.
So instead of fearing AI, we should see it as a tool, something that can free us up to do more meaningful work?
Exactly. Like
Ah,
in the energy sector, instead of manually monitoring everything, technicians can use AI tools to analyze data and spot potential problems before they even happen.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's about humans and AI working together, each playing to their strengths.
Right. And beyond just jobs, we need to think about the bigger societal impact of these powerful AI systems.
Definitely. It's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we use it and what kind of future we want to create.
And that's why it's so interesting that NVIDIA keeps talking about responsible AI development.
So they're not just building the coolest tech. They're thinking about the ethical side of it too. But what does responsible AI even mean in practice?
It's about transparency, accountability, making sure these systems align with human values.
Right. AI shouldn't just benefit a select few. It needs to be designed to benefit society as a whole. But how do you even approach those kinds of ethical questions when you're dealing with such complex technology?
It starts with open conversations. NVIDIA is talking to researchers, policymakers, industry leaders to figure out ethical guidelines, best practices.
So they're not just off in a lab somewhere building this stuff in isolation. They're actively looking for input from different perspectives.
Exactly, and they're investing in research on explainable AI. So we're not just getting answers from these systems.
Yeah.
We can understand how they got there.
Explainable AI, that's a great concept. It helps build trust and accountability.
Right, it's about making AI less of a black box and more of a tool that we can understand and use effectively.
I'm really impressed with how deeply NVIDIA is thinking about all of this. It's not just about pushing technological boundaries, but also about doing it responsibly.
It's about empowering people, not replacing them. Think about how AI agents could transform healthcare education, even the arts.
Ooh. Okay, I need some examples. How could AI change those fields?
In healthcare, imagine AI helping doctors diagnose diseases more accurately and quickly, or personalizing treatment plans based on a patient's individual needs.
So AI is a partner to doctors, not a replacement. That's reassuring.
Right. And in education, think about personalized learning plans tailored to each student's unique learning style. AI could be like a virtual tutor providing support and feedback.
Wow, that could completely change how we learn. What about the arts? How does AI fit in there?
Think about AI collaborating with artists, musicians, writers. It could help spark new ideas, experiment with different styles, even create entirely new forms of art.
It's like having a creative partner that can push the boundaries of imagination. I love that idea.
Right. And the most exciting part is that we're just at the beginning of all of this. As AI keeps evolving, the possibilities are endless.
It's mind-blowing to think about how much this technology could change our lives. But as we've discussed, it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we choose to use it.
Exactly. We have to be thoughtful and intentional about how we develop and deploy AI. We need to make sure it's used to benefit everyone, not just a select few.
NVIDIA seems to be taking that responsibility seriously, and it's encouraging to see.
Definitely. But it's not just up to them. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI.
So what can we do as individuals to make sure AI is used for good?
We can stay informed about the latest advancements and engage in conversations about the ethical implications. We can advocate for policies that promote responsible AI development and support organizations that are working to address these challenges.
That's a great point. This isn't just something happening in labs or boardrooms. It's something that will impact all of us. We need to be active participants in shaping this future.
Absolutely. The future of AI isn't predetermined. It's something we're actively creating through our choices and actions.
Well said. I'm feeling a mix of excitement and cautious optimism about all of this. AI has incredible potential, but we need to be mindful of the risks and make sure we're using it wisely.
I agree. The future is in our hands, and it's up to us to make it a good one.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into NVIDIA's vision for the future. We've covered a lot of ground, but there's still so much more to explore, especially when it comes to the wider implications of this technology for society as a whole.
I know, right? Like, how will AI impact things like governance and economics? How will it shape our understanding of intelligence itself? These are big questions.
They are. And in the next part of our deep dives, we'll tackle those questions head on. We'll consider what NVIDIA's vision means for humanity as a whole and what kind of future we're building together.
Sounds like a fascinating conversation. Can't wait.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into NVIDIA's vision. We've gone over Software 2.0, accelerated computing, those amazing AI agents. But now, let's really step back. What does it all mean for us, for humanity?
Yeah, that's the big question, right? And NVIDIA seems to get that. They're not just focused on the tech itself, but on how it shapes the world we're going to live in.
So it's about using these powerful tools to solve the really big problems, the ones we've been struggling with forever. Where do you see the biggest potential?
Healthcare. We talked about AI helping doctors with diagnoses, but it goes way beyond that. Imagine AI leading to truly personalized medicine. like treatments based on your specific genes.
That's wild. Is that even possible right now?
It's getting there. NVIDIA is working with researchers, with drug companies, using AI to find new drug targets, stuff that would have taken years before.
So new drugs, faster cures, thanks to AI. That's amazing. But what about, I don't know, climate change? Can AI help with that too?
Definitely. Imagine AI optimizing energy use in buildings, in entire cities, tech, even whole countries, or finding new materials for renewable energy.
Wow. So AI could help us get to a sustainable future, finally. But let's be real, all this awesome tech, there's got to be a downside, Eddie.
Of course, one worry is that AI could make inequality worse.
How so?
Well, if the data used to train AI is biased, the AI will be biased too. Imagine that in hiring, loans, even the justice system. That's scary.
So it comes down to the data and who's controlling it, designing it. It has to be fair, benefit everyone.
Exactly. And that's where NVIDIA's whole responsible AI thing comes in. They're putting resources into making sure AI is ethical, benefits everyone, not just a few.
It's good they're thinking about that. But honestly, it can't just be up to companies, right?
Right, we all got to be part of this. Stay informed, talk about the ethics, push for good AI policies, support the folks fighting for responsible AI.
That's true. This isn't some far-off sci-fi thing anymore. It's going to affect us all, so we got to be involved, know what's going on.
Couldn't agree more. The future of AI, it's not set in stone. It's what we choose to make it right now.
Well said. As we wrap up this deep dive, I'm feeling hopeful, but also a little wary. AI could change everything for the better, but we have to be careful.
I think that's the perfect way to put it. Hopeful, cautious, engaged. That's how we shape a good future with AI.
Thanks to everyone for joining us today. We explored NVIDIA's vision, the tech, the good, the potential problems. Hopefully this got you thinking about what kind of future we're building with AI, because it's up to all of us.
And remember, keep learning, keep asking questions, and most importantly, keep imagining the world you want to live in, because that's how we get there.